Well, good morning, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to present to the community at CRIO. We've been a partner now with CRIO for just a couple of months now, and it's been a wonderful engagement. I want to tell you a little about BEKHealth, and I'm going to spend just 15, 20 minutes doing so. Um, the title of our slide or our presentation is really, sort of how do we optimize the work that research coordinators and site coordinators do versus replacing them. And so, when we started Beck Health, 3 or 4 years ago, when we came to market in early 2022, our goal was really to help our customers be more efficient in identifying and ultimately recruiting and enrolling patients into the studies. We think that the platform that we built is purpose built to do just that, and we've gotten some really good traction over the last couple of years. So much so that we're now being utilized by almost 200 clinical research sites, where we have access to 30 million patient records, and we're processing just under half of that, almost 15 million patient records on a daily basis. Um, we've activated in our platform over 900 clinical protocols or clinical studies in which we're matching patients. And so, we've made great strides since we introduced the Beck platform into the market in 2022. As I mentioned earlier, our goal is to really help site coordinators to reduce the amount of manual data gathering and curating that they do, eliminate the need to do chart reviews, which are oftentimes uh, labor intensive, tedious, and not a great use of their time. And so the tool that we've built is really around how do we automate much of the manual, less attractive work that site coordinators have to go through, and automate that chart abstraction and patient matching activity. And that's what we set out to do. We've been successful in that endeavor, so much so that we believe that we're increasing the number of eligible or clinically eligible patients 10 times. We've reduced screen fails by 70%, ultimately leading to the number one goal, which is higher enrollment rate and accrual. And we believe that if a site coordinator can shrink the time that they're spending at the top of the funnel to identify clinically eligible patients, that will lead to all sorts of goodness at the bottom of the funnel. And using AI and using technology is really intended to eliminate, ideally, all of the manual work that our users, prior to our tool, had to go through. We do all this by creating a robust data platform that has essentially three layers. We connect to the underlying EHR. We have 30 plus EMR adapters, representing almost 90% of the marketplace. Adapters from Epic and Cerner on the hospital side to eClinical Work, NextGen, ModMed, Athena, and many others on the ambulatory or physician practice side. We take all that data, both the structured and unstructured data, and we pre-process it. We take all of the information that resides within a medical record, we extract all of the unstructured data out, and we normalize it against our ontology and create, a searchable and queryable database for our customers. The third component of our platform is really the application layer, and most of our customers use it to identify patients. They use it to organize all of the unstructured data, so chart abstraction. And then for our larger site networks, they're using it to figure out which of the sites within their network has the patients that a particular pharma or a particular study needs and wants. And so that's how our customers typically use our product. We try to make it as easy as possible to work with us. Our implementation timelines range between 4 to 6 weeks. ECW, Athena on the short end of that, Epic because of the nature of a larger organization on the higher end of that range. Fundamentally, what we offer to our site coordinators and who are the primary users is really two basic applications. One is a feasibility analysis tool that allows them to query the system in a robust and quick way to figure out which of the sites within their network has the patients they're looking for, really helps them understand the patient population that they have within their network. It's probably not surprising to many folks on this in the audience that many site networks really don't have a firm grasp on the population within the network that they have access to. And our tool really helps them understand that population and explore that population before they're awarded the study. And so if you think about sort of the feasibility tool as really designed for pre-award, really exploring what patients you have available to you. And then once you're awarded the study, it really transitions nicely into what we call our trial management. This is really where the CRCs and the research coordinators live and work every day. This is where they get their list of patients that are clinically eligible. And we try to make it as easy as possible for them to quickly review the chart, and then B, do the actual outreach to the patient and get those patients down the funnel. One of the really neat things about our application is that it's tied to the schedule within the healthcare organization, whether it's a hospital system or a medical practice. We can tell our site coordinators when the next appointment is scheduled for that patient, who that appointment is with, which doctor within the practice or the healthcare system, so that that site coordinator can plan their day and their week effectively, reaching out to the primary provider, have a conversation with them before the appointment, and perhaps even be on site during that appointment to answer any questions. That is a feature of our product that really saves site coordinators a tremendous amount of work in planning their day. Again, with the goal of minimizing all of the manual steps that they have to go through in order to talk to patients and understand if they're clinically eligible. I want to spend just a moment of time talking a little about our key differentiators. When we started this journey and entered the market in 2022, there really weren't very many companies focused on site networks. There were several companies that were doing similar work to us, focused on academic medical centers and large health systems, but very few talking about or talking to and working with site networks. And that's been our primary focus over these many years. And again, we've had some success over the last 3+ years. We're one of the few companies in our space targeting site networks that has reached a level of scale where we're managing and processing millions of patient records. We've activated almost 1,000 studies within the platform where we're helping our customers match patients and identify patients for clinical trials. We believe that we have the largest library of EMR adapters across not only primary care, but specialty medicine such as ModMed, in GI and dermatology. I think one of the core differentiators for us at BEKHealth and what we've spent a lot of time and energy building is this research-specific data model. We have curated a ontology of terms that represent over 21 or 24 million terms, synonyms, you know, lexemes that really help us organize all of that data. So as all that unstructured data from images and PDF reports and progress notes, as all of that comes into a medical record, we're able to organize all of that against our ontology, those terms, and then organize against a common data model so that you can search millions of records in seconds versus having to wait minutes or more to really explore that data. And so, those are the key differentiators for us. We're trying our hardest to build the platform that works every time, that doesn't require a lot of expertise on the part of our clinical coordinators. Um, One of the differentiators that I don't mention here, but I think is really important, is that we have a team of clinical research nurses that are available to our customers to help them use the product, to build the queries, to uh, activate the protocols in the system so that the site coordinators only have to log in, see the list of patients, and then actually reach out to them directly. And I'm going to end this discussion really just talking about where we're going as a company. So we're taking a bit of a hybrid approach to how we're using AI. We use a lot of natural language processing on the front end to extract key text out of a medical record, but then we're applying LLMs to really understand the context of that text within the grander medical record. Um, and so we can differentiate, the difference between a record saying there's a family history of depression versus that patient actually is diagnosed with depression. And so that hybrid approach, we believe, is the perfect fit for research coordinators, for site networks. We've built our own large language model to be able to read a clinical protocol, a clinical trial protocol, and pull out the inclusion exclusion, making the query building as easy as putting in a sort of search string, if you will, or asking the system questions about the data. You can copy and paste from a protocol. You can point it to clinicaltrial.gov, and it will build out the query for you. And then finally, we believe it's not enough to just identify the patient. And we've partnered with folks that you've already heard from or will hear from in this sort of in this workshop. Folks like Redefining and Delphi, we've partnered with them in order to take the information, the clinically eligible patients, and then have our partners immediately action those patients, driving them down the funnel and ultimately into that screening visit. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed giving it. If there's any questions about BEKHealth and what we're doing and where we're going, I'm happy to answer any questions people might have. And I look forward to working with everybody at CRIO and within your customers.
Thanks so much, David. Appreciate it. And as always, you can jump into the CRIO partner directory in the Help Center if you are a CRIO user, and you can search the partner directory for BEKHealth. They'll be in there. You can submit an inquiry there or enable your integration just with the click of a button. So yes, thank you, David. And we'll be back in 3 minutes now for our presentation.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye now.